What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. You saw the title. You know what we're here to do. We're here to talk about this new Knocked Loose record and roll a blunt. But we're here to talk about this new Knocked Loose record. You're not supposed to go. I'm kidding. You won't go before you're supposed to. Metalcore is alive, bro. Metalcore is alive and well. This is the third record from Knocked Loose. Obviously, I've been a huge fan of them since day one. I still remember my friends showing me their music, like before even Laugh Tracks came out. I think they had like a little sample or something out like that he showed me, and I had no idea who they were. But then I remember seeing Laugh Tracks on the rack at the record store and being like, what the fuck is this? And I remember buying it with my friend and listening to it in the car and knowing like, this is different. Like, this is something else, bro. A Tear in the Fabric of Life was probably my favorite project so far. I loved everything about that. I saw them twice on their tour for that album. That shit is fan-fucking-tastic. But honestly, on this one, I think they kind of take everything that they did on A Tear in the Fabric of Life and just turn it up to 1,000. It's so amazing. And I remember in interviews, Brian was talking about how this is like the heaviest and angriest music that Knocked Loose has ever came out with. And I was like, okay, like a lot of bands say that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of bands say that, but they were being real. They were being real. And the production on this album is incredible. It's actually produced in part by Drew Folk, who if you're tapped in with the metal scene, the metal production scene, you know that he's actually produced for a lot of these bands before. The mixing, the editing, the mastering, it's sublime. It's fantastic on this album. Specifically the editing, I think it's insane. A lot of care went into this record. You can tell that a lot of care went into this record and the curation of it, and like I said, the editing is fantastic. I really love it. And like I was saying before, this is the perfect culmination of pretty much everything Knocked Loose has been up until this very point. But I think improving on everything, fuck me, right? Improving on everything that made them stand out, at least to me, and also experimenting more, which I really appreciate. I love when bands experiment. I love when they try new shit. I love the intro on this record. I think the lyrics, lyrically, it's one of my faves. Just the sheer anguish of just like of trying so hard to be comfortable and to be happy. I love the lyrical themes on this record. I think even more than A Tear in the Fabric of Life. These themes of these, like I said, these primal urges just to be comfortable or okay, or not be let down than others. Let down by others is insane. Sorry, y'all. As far as musically, first thing I want to talk about is the snare on this record. Holy fucking shit. Like, genuinely, that was the first thing I noticed, but also you notice the guitars, you notice the bass, you notice how full everything sounds on this album. It's so fantastic. But that snare just rings through my eardrums, bro. But everything is so full bodied. Brian's vocals are insane. The guitarist and the bassist are tapped in. Everyone sounds hella tight. I almost feel like Don't Reach For Me is a sequel lyrically to Suffocate. That need for separation, that like I said, bro, that primal urge for just this basic need is just such an amazing lyrical theme to me throughout this record. It's so, not only is it relatable, but it's a theme that I see a lot of bands tackling, but not to this degree. And I feel like Knocked Loose just really understood the assignment on that. And speaking of Suffocate, Poppy's vocals are insane on that fucking song, bro. Like, genuinely the best Poppy vocals I've heard in a long time. I really wish I would have gotten the opportunity to see her live with Smashing Pumpkins. I found out that the homegirl was actually at that show the other day, and I was jealous as hell. I love the "No lies can spread from a tongue removed. I will cut out your tongue." Oh my god, bro. The only song that I wasn't a huge fan of on this record was Slaughterhouse 2. And I understand that a lot of people actually do fuck with that song. It just wasn't a huge standout to me. It just seemed kind of like tacked on by the label almost. I just wasn't a huge fan. And you know what? compared to like other projects, like that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like one song out of the whole album, Blinding Faith, I think really ties this whole record lyrically for me. I know I've talked about the lyrics a lot throughout this entire review, but I think that really just ties the whole record up for me lyrically, because, you know, I feel like a lot of people, specifically in the metal community, a lot of people say like fuck Christianity, fuck religion, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you know, I have the Cradle of Filth shirt that says Jesus is a cunt on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's edgy, but I feel like this comes at it from a more like sincerely bothered and concerned and angry perspective on how people can just throw away that blinding faith, and how destructive it can be to humans and our relationships and our very being. I just think that Blinding Faith really ties in this whole album lyrically. So obviously I love this record. I fucking love this record. I think it's amazing. One thing that I also did want to mention super quick is I think it's the perfect length. I believe it's 10 songs. All killer, no filler. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love to see that. So this is no surprise, but I'm feeling a 9.5 out of 10 on this one. And like I said, bro, the only reason this isn't a 10 is Slaughterhouse 2. So at the end of the day, I'm really nitpicking. This album is fucking fantastic, and I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't heard it yet. I've made all the homies listen to it, and my best friend actually got it on hardcover too, so highly recommend this record. Sorry I was rolling this blunt throughout this entire review. I got shit to do today, y'all, and I'm kind of just tacking this on because I was behind and I need to get this done. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this Knocked Loose album, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love y'all. Perfect timing. Peace.